uh, just for consent. And should you have any questions, we will go over it later during our solutions forum and afterwards. So to start, we just want to give you a brief program flow. To those who have attended the webinar on community gardens and urban farming, thank you very much. It was this morning. We talked about a lot of the issues and how to probably start your own community gardens and urban farming. And it was co-sponsored by the Ateneo de Manila and the Ateneo de Cagayan Xavier University, as well as the SDSN. For this General Assembly, we will be introducing our participants, old and new, from the academe, the business, and the civil society organizations. We will be having our welcome remarks by our SDSN Council Chair, Dr. Kuya King. And afterwards, we will have our short photo opportunity. As you may know, in the previous years, we have had what's called the Solutions Forum, and today we will also be having something sort of like that, a mini version, wherein we will present SDG initiatives from our 4 SDSN members, which we will get into later. Afterwards, we will have the report of the country manager, Dr. Randy Tuanyo, and the discussion of the possible new initiatives. Okay, so with that, we will go to the introduction of our participants, and I will hand the floor over to Dr. Randy Tuanyo to introduce each one of them.
Thank you, Kin. No? So that was Kin Campos, our new program assistant, program officer at the Ateneo Institute of Sustainability, and is also helping us with the SDSN network. So I'd like to introduce the different member organizations and their representatives in the meeting this afternoon. So first, let's introduce them by alphabetically. So let's introduce first the representative of Ateneo de Davao, Makoy Samante. Makoy, you here?
Good afternoon, Sir Randy and everyone. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. I don't know, Makoy, if you have also another, if you are only the one from Ateneo de Davao, or would you have also someone with you?
Ako lang ngayon, Sir Randy. Kanina, there was a member of my team who attended the morning session. So hati kami, medyo maraming ginagawa eh. Hati-hati lang.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Makoy.
Yes, Sir Randy.
And then also from Ateneo de Manila, our chair of the Leadership Council, Dr. Achut King. Also with her is the new director of the Ateneo Institute of Sustainability, Dr. Kenla Cotanco. Kenla.
Hello, good afternoon.
Thank you for coming. We also have from Ateneo de Naga, Professor Jonaviva Plupeño, who's also presenting in a while.
Good afternoon po.
From Ateneo de Zamboanga, Dr. Teresita Montaño.
Hi, good afternoon, Doc Achut, Sir Randy, and all the members who are present here.
Okay, thank you very much.
May kasama yata si Tess.
Yes, maybe you can introduce also your companion.
Yes, I have a companion also from the office, Miss Weng Omboy. Weng.
Sorry, she is ano lang?
She said her representative is Miss Welma Omboy, also from the ACES from Ateneo de Zamboanga.
Yes. And ACES is the Ateneo Center for Environment and Sustainability. Thank you. Also, we have from the Cebu Technological University, Dr. Lynette Camello. So I don't know if Dr. Camello is ready here. Wala pa. From LaSalle University, Dr. Arthur Nea, and I think Dr. Kiko Magno is also here, or he was here earlier.
He's here. He is here.
Okay.
Dr. Magno is here. He's heading our SDG City Lab unit.
Okay, welcome.
And Mr. Jason Hesita from also from the Jesse Robredo Institute of Governance. Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat.
Okay, magandang hapon, Doc Art, Ian, and Doc Kiko. The next, We have from Far Eastern University, Ms. Carmencita Sayo. Carmencita, are you already here? Wala pa. Oh, sige, I think parang she'll be coming in a while. No? From the Internationalized Research Institute, si Attorney Jinjin Perez and Dr. Romy Reside. Attorney
Good
Jinjin.
afternoon, Randy. Good afternoon to everybody.
Hi, good
Just
afternoon,
wishing you
Randy.
good health always to everyone. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Nice to touch base again with you, Randy.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Randy. Nice to
Attorney
see you
Jinjin.
again. And it's been a while. Yeah.
Doc Romy, kumusta?
Okay na eh. Tagal na, no?
Isang taon na. But
Yeah,
hopefully we'll have
okay.
more interactions. No?
Yeah. Okay.
And next from the Mapua University are Doc Delia Sonoro. Doc Delia,
Good afternoon, everyone.
hello.
Hello
Nice to
there.
see you.
Yeah, I have two people around who are also a personnel of our international linkages for research and development, and also coordinating with our Resiliency and Sustainable Development Center. I would like to introduce also to you Bensire Villanueva and Rhea Carnate. Yeah, they're around.
Okay.
Hi, good afternoon po.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for coming. I don't know if from PSBA, Dr. Tabasam Rasa is already here. Dr. Rasa, wala pa, so he'll be coming in soon. Then from the Tarlac Agriculture University, one of our newer members, Ms. Christine Ferrer.
Good afternoon po from Tarlac Agricultural University. We are new to SDSN. I have with me my technical staff for SDGs, Mr. Julius Consul. He's joining me this afternoon. Thank you po.
Okay, welcome Christine and Julius. Then
Afternoon
from
po.
thank you. Then from the Visayas State University, I don't know, Dr. Edgardo Tolin confirmed, but I don't know if he's already here. Might be having difficulties in connecting. Sige, wala pa. Okay, so these are the representatives from the academe. I don't know if there are others whom I haven't yet called. Also from our civil society groups, no? We have a representative from the Alianza Agricultura, no? Dr. Ernie Ordonez. Ernie, I don't know if you're already here. Wala pa yata siya. But from the Philippine Business for Social Progress, I understand that Mr. Elvin Uy will be coming here. Unfortunately, Ray Lagoda cannot make it. Elvin?
Elvin is here. Hi, Elvin.
Hello. Nice to see everyone.
Hello, welcome. Then of course, from the SDSN Philippines Youth, no, si Mr. Xavier Peredo. Xavier.
Hello, magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat.
Okay, I think, are there other individuals who haven't called? Of course, no. Also, I'd like just to introduce everyone to the SDSN Asia. For the point person from SDSN Asia, Miss Amira Majid. Amira, are you here? She's observing our meeting.
Hi everyone. Hi, Randy. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, glad to have you here, Amira. Thanks for coming. We've also invited a few other observers, so I don't know if they're here. No, from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Dr. Manny De Guzman. I don't know if Manny's already here. Maybe he'll be still coming. Also, the former SDSN coordinator, country manager, Shelo Magno. Sure if Shelo is here. And also some of our former leadership council members, no, si Rapa Lopa and Dr. Inday Freneo. So I'm not too sure if they already also made it. Okay, so I think that's, I don't know if I hope that I've called already everyone. I know that there's some who said that they might be coming, like Miss Mars Mendoza from the Fair Trade Alliance, no, but we aren't sure, no, if she's already here. So with that, let's all give ourselves a warm round of applause. So, thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Tuanyo, for the introductions and to our new member. Now we will proceed with the welcome remarks of our SDSN-PH chair. And I give you Dr. Asunta Coyageng, who is a professor in the John Gokongwei School of Management and the former director of the Ateneo Institute of Sustainability. Without further ado, I give the floor to you, Dr. Coyageng.
Thank you, Kin, and good afternoon, everyone. Once again, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2021 General Assembly of SDSN Philippines. You know, it has been a really challenging year for all of us, over a year actually, as we and our organization struggled through the pandemic. But more than ever, I think the SDGs remind us of the imperatives in our society. To use the model of the donut economy, the SDGs remind us of the urgency to make right our social foundations, the floor, and to ensure that our human activities do not break the ecological ceiling. So I hope that we continue in our endeavors toward promoting the SDGs. I hope that SDSN Philippines will continue to grow and promote these things together with all our partners. Especially to those who are new to this assembly, I hope you will find this virtual space for now an opportunity to create synergy with our other members. I'd like to take this opportunity today to introduce you to Dr. Kendra Gotanco Gonzalez, who is our new director of the Ateneo Institute of Sustainability. She will be representing the Ateneo de Manila from now on in this network. And I think she brings a lot to the table. She's an environmental scientist whose research crosses over from the natural to the social sciences. She's been part of our projects like the Pandi Project for the Water Alliance of PBSP, the Coastal Cities at Risk, Disaster Resilience Education in partnership with Erasmus, Systems Modeling for Social Enterprises, among so many others. She has a physics background from her undergraduate days and a PhD in Earth and Atmospheric Sciences from Purdue. Her systems modeling experience will definitely help the SDSN Philippines efforts. So I hope that you will welcome her also in this network as our representative. Dr. Randy Tuanyo will continue to ably steer our network forward with the help of the AIS team, who is acting as the secretariat for now, and especially with our newest member, Kin Campos. I will still be around to lend them my wholehearted support, but I think it is very good to see that we are a growing group and there are many young faces around. So once again, a warm welcome to all of you. Good afternoon.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Kuyageng. So now that everyone has been introduced and I hope warmed up to each other since we're in a Zoom webinar, we will have a photo opportunity next. And may we kindly ask everyone to turn on their videos and change their Zoom backgrounds to the SDSN-PH official background that I sent this morning.
If they just
can.
can. Sige, maybe we can remove, Kim, just remove lang the slides in a while so that we can have everyone in the gallery view. Okay.
Hello. Okay. I will take a picture.
Okay, I think there's still a few more individuals who haven't yet opened their camera. So let's ask Benzi, Wilma. Amira, you're welcome to open your video. And then also, sorry, the representative from AR, I don't know if that's Min. I might want to open your...
Yes, Nandi, this is Men.
Hi, Men.
Unfortunately, the video function is not working right now.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Anyway, okay.
Okay.
Wilma?
Okay. I'll count down. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So now let's proceed with our program. Okay. So to get to our discussion proper, we want to start with what came before. So as you may have known, we have also had a solutions forum for the SDG initiative back in 2020, I think in February. As you can see here in the pictures, this is how it went, and there were presentations that were given from the different civil society organizations, the academe, and the other business organizations that are part of the SDSN. Today in this General Assembly, we want to have also a mini solutions forum given to us by our four speakers from Ateneo de Zamboanga, Cebu Technological University, Ateneo de Naga, and the SDSN PHU. So to start off, and without further ado, we would like to lend the floor to Dr. Teresita Montaño from the Ateneo de Zamboanga. She is the director of the Ateneo Center for Environment and Sustainability, or ACES, also in Ateneo de Zamboanga. Without further ado, Dr. Montaño.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon from far Zamboanga. I will be presenting some of the initiatives of Ateneo de Zamboanga University. Okay. I will be I'm Tess Montaño from Ateneo de Zamboanga University, and I'll be presenting some of our programs, initiatives, and engagements. Like to start by saying that one of the mission statements of Ateneo de Zamboanga University is to strive to safeguard, sustain, and educate persons on the conservation of the environment through sustainable development. And that is one of the reasons why the Ateneo Center for Environment and Sustainability was established 2 years ago. I would like to share with you some of the climate change and DRRM initiatives and engagements that we have been doing here in Zamboanga. We are a hub, or we have a weather station for climate monitoring, which was made possible because of our partnership with the Manila Observatory. We were also a part of the nationwide mapping using LiDAR technology, where we participated in both LiDAR 1 and LiDAR 2. LiDAR 1, we were supposed to come up with flood hazard maps for Region 9, especially for those flood prone areas of Region 9. And for LiDAR 2, we were supposed to come up with upland resources map and also the coastal resources map, all for disaster preparedness, food security, and biodiversity. We were also part of a program or project called Designing a Space-Based Decision Support System for Climate Resilient Coastal Cities, also in partnership with the Manila Observatory. It's a remote sensing and GIS application using satellite imageries and secondary data, also for processing food and water security in the city of Zamboanga. As part of the LiDAR project, both for LiDAR 1 and LiDAR 2, there were 5 universities who participated in Mindanao. And those were the Central Mindanao State University, MSU IIT, UP Mindanao, Caraga State University, and Ateneo de Zamboanga University. At the end of the LiDAR project, these 5 universities thought that we should continue with our mapping of vulnerable areas in our area in Mindanao. And so Zamboanga City, Ateneo de Zamboanga University participated in a project which we called GeoSafer. As a result of that project, ADSU was able to prepare an early warning system for local disturbances, and we called it Alerto. The Alerto project has been very significant because when this was presented to our regional Dream C or Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council, it was one of the projects that the national Dream C was attracted to, and therefore they've contacted Ateneo de Zamboanga University to also present it nationally, and the local government academy became interested, and so right now we are preparing a protocol for our Alerto project, which will be rolled out into the different regions of the country. We also was part of a geospatial assessment and modeling of urban heat islands in the Philippines in partnership with UP Diliman Center for Environmental Studies and the LGU of Zamboanga City. This is so because in one of the researches conducted, they've identified that Zamboanga City will be one of the hottest areas in the country. And so we participated in this project. We also is participating in the project on groundwater resource management and monitoring system between ADSU as one of the members of that group from Ateneo de Manila University, particularly the College of Engineering and Environmental Science. There were 5 areas identified in the city. 2 of the areas, they were able to install already the device to monitor water quality. And that monitoring device will also be able to tell us whether there is over extraction of groundwater in certain parts of the city and also whether water quality is maintained. However, out of the 5, only 2 have been installed because of the pandemic. As part of our response to the pandemic, Ateneo de Zamboanga was able to also prepare a mapping platform for attribution and a spatial survey we call COMPAS. This is a tracking device for COVID-19, which was endorsed by IATF to be used by contact tracers in Region 9. We also have program on extension and advocacies. One of the program is on upland resources management, where we were awarded 8 hectares of land within the Pasunanca watershed, where the members of the Ateneo de Zamboanga University conduct regular tree planting and growing activities. We don't only do tree planting, but we also have a nursery within the 8 hectare area, and we do monitoring in order to see whether what has been planted will really grow. We also have a project which we call riverbank rehabilitation. The riverbank rehabilitation is done in partnership with DNR, where we have identified flood prone areas in the city of Zamboanga, and riverbanks are planted with bamboo. And this bamboo is being propagated both in campus in Ateneo de Zamboanga University, particularly in the La Purísima campus, and also we have nurseries in the different barangays identified. And this year, we have even added one more barangay, which is Manikaan, and the project for Manikaan will be funded by the Ateneo Center for Environment and Sustainability. We also have a project which we call Adapanestero. We do regular cleanup of the waterways of Barangay San Roque with the help of our students. We have a group of students, an organization we call Eco Watch, and also a group of faculty and staff, we call them Eco Warriors, who assist us in all of these activities. We also have a program on wetlands and coastal resources management where we do regular planting of mangrove propagules, particularly endemic to the area, in 2 barangays in Zamboanga City, which is Mampang and Talon-Talon. And we do regular cleanup on the shorelines of Santa Cruz Island, Kawa Boulevard, and Paseo del Mar, also with the help of our Eco Watch and Eco Warriors. We also have a program for the promotion of peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development. And that is a partnership and continuous conversation with the members of BARM, or the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, which we call Hearts and Minds for Peace and Development. This is conducted regularly by our Social Development Unit. Now, some of the policies in campus, we have a policy on energy and water conservation, where most of our buildings are installed with solar panels. We have a policy of a campus lockdown during semestral breaks and during Christmas break, where students and faculty and staff are not allowed in campus, so we don't have to make use of electricity and other facilities. We also do monitoring of the groundwater extracted from our deep wells. And also, we monitor usage of water in our comfort rooms, especially from the water tanks of our toilets. We have a policy on solid waste management where we practice waste segregation, no plastic utensils, no PET bottles, and styrofoam. And we also do the gradual implementation of regulating the use of sandoplastics in campus, and the no plastic straw policy in our cafeteria. In terms of health, we have a no smoking policy in campus. There's a smoking area outside of the school campus. We also have a COVID-19 health protocol, which is strictly implemented with fines, so that those who violate will really be called, and if they continue to violate, they will have to be fined for it. We also monitor water quality in campus by having it checked every semester to make sure that the water used by our students are potable. And we have an ambient air quality monitor device in the Kreutz campus, and that is regularly monitored in partnership with DNR EMB. Our new engagements are, we have one engagement where we will be doing tree planting activities in the cultural communities of Barangay Limpapa. This is an IP community, and the reason for this is to promote, safeguard, and develop the natural resources within the common and ancestral domain in accordance with the April law. We will be assisting them in planting trees in their denuded areas, and also to, in the future, provide a sustainable economic activity to improve livelihood capacities of our IPs in that area. This is done or will be done in partnership with JRS, or the Jesuit Relief Services. And then we have participation in research activities, like we are participating in the research of Ateneo de Davao University on wave and ocean renewable energy. We have a project right now. I mentioned earlier that Alerto will be rolled out in the different regions of the country, but before it will be rolled out, we have been funded by DOST 9 to continue to enhance the capacity of the system. We are also being funded by the local government academy for the preparation of the Alerto protocol, which will be included in the Listo protocol. I'd like to emphasize that the protocol for the Alerto that has been done by Ateneo de Zamboanga University is for local disturbances like LPA. And then we are also participating in a research on valuation of the Pasunangka Natural Park in partnership with the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity. We are a member or an affiliate of several government and non-government line agencies and organizations as part of our contribution being an academic institution, and for possible partnership to implement many of our programs and activities. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Dr. Montaño, for a very holistic and very complete report on everything that you have done and all the new reports as well. So for our next presenter, we have Dr. Camelio from the Cebu Technological University. However, I am not sure if she is here. So
Yes, I think we're still missing Yeah,
Yes.
Dr. Camellia. Yeah. So
Okay.
maybe we can just.
Yes. So since Dr. Camellia is here, maybe she can give her presentation or insights later. We can proceed to Professor Joanna Viva Plupeño from Ateneo de Naga, and she is the the director for the Ateneo Center for Environment and Sustainability as well. Ms. Plupeño, we will give the floor to you now to share your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, let me just share my screen. And there. Oh, sorry. Share screen. Okay, good afternoon. So I'm the OIC Director for the Institute for Environmental Conservation and Research, or the IDCAR, of the Ateneo de Naga University. So what I'm going to share is about the IDCAR SDG initiatives. This is limited to the activities that the unit is doing, and not as comprehensive as Dr. Montaño's presentation that I think covers SU. Okay, we do environment IEC, information, education, communication campaigns, such as this online presentation of biodiversity in Bicol, in celebration of the International Day for Biodiversity last May 22. So you can type https://bit.ly/bio-samuya, and you can look at our biodiversity. It says that my internet connection is unstable. I hope you can still hear me. So,
yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. In campus at Ateneo de Naga University, we are also doing this solid waste monitoring. We count in kilos the amount of waste generated, and then identify which buildings or halls are producing the most number of solid waste. So we also have this trash talk in ADNO infographics, so that we can share it with the Ateneo community, and thereby do something appropriate about waste generation. But of course, in comparison with 2019 and the 2020 waste generation, the number or the amount of solid waste was reduced. Then we also have research activities on biodiversity, such as involvement with the Naga River Watershed Water Quality Management Area, and crafting a proposal which we submitted to the UNEP about using biodiversity or insects or bioindicators to monitor the water quality of Naga River. And then for the Naga City COVID-19 pandemic matter, we are doing the data analytics and generating such information for use of the local government unit of Naga. And then previously, we also did the LiDAR project covering Region 5. The same with ADSU. We did LiDAR 1, which is about flood hazard, and LiDAR 2, which is about natural resources such as the agricultural resources, forest resources, renewable energy resources, and coastal resources, and others. So part of our activities also include establishing linkages by working in partnership with the Naga City People's Council here in Naga and the local government unit in the Sustainable Urban Resource Management project implementation. This is funded by UNESCO and UN Habitat. So technically, we're covering SDG 13, 14, 15, and 17. And thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Plupeño, and apologies for dictating your designation incorrectly. For our next presenter, we will be having Mr. Xavier Peredo from the SDSN PHU. He is our coordinator and has since been with us. Okay. Mr. Peredo, I will give you the floor to you for your presentation.
Thank you very much. Can you give me like the power to share screen?
Oh, yes.
There. Okay, thank you. So good morning to everyone. I am Xavier Peredo, I'm the network coordinator of SDSN Youth Philippines. Just a big brief background of who we are in SDSN Youth. Basically, as of now, we stand as one of the biggest youth NGOs in the Philippines, which has a total of over 150 youth organizations throughout the Philippines. We are present in almost all regions and urban centers in the Philippines. We are also proud that the Philippine network is the biggest network all over the world, and the most operationally sound, financially sound, and financially independent from all the networks of SDSN youth in the whole world. What's good about this is that the global SDSN youth has been looking into SDSN Philippines and seeing SDSN Youth Philippines and seeing how we can replicate it with other countries. May it be in Asia, may it be in other networks all over the world. So because it is a pandemic, I wanted to focus more on our initiatives or our solutions for the COVID-19 pandemic that we are in right now. Basically, when the COVID-19 pandemic started, we really didn't know what to do. We were confused because we were not trained to anyone actually, or everyone actually was not even trained to respond to a pandemic. We were all in our houses. We cannot go out, and the normal civil society and the normal NGO response of going to the communities, of consulting with different sectors cannot happen because the pandemic might spread because of what we do. So we thought of different ways. We thought of different innovations to make sure that our service delivery in SDSN Youth will still continue and still be strengthened even in the pandemic. In this pandemic, we made sure that we really invested all our time, resources, and effort in making sure that we reach young Filipinos, even if we're not there physically. We really increased investments on creating and strengthen new e-learning and online awareness platforms. I will show you later what are those platforms. We increased participation in online learning sessions and platforms through multi-sectoral and organizational partnerships. What we did, we wanted to make sure we increased the traffic going towards our online platforms. We partnered with youth organizations, with national government agencies to make sure that their audiences could also see the programs, the projects we have. May it be a webinar, may it be an online knowledge learning system, etc. Next is we increased the reach of SSNU social media platforms and created new social media accounts to reach more marginalized, excluded, and vulnerable sectors and young people. From measly 8,000 people subscribed to SDSN Youth, we have at least 14 to 15,000 who are now our likers and our subscribers in all of our online platforms. This is second only to the global platform of SDSN Youth. Next, we create, maintained, and expanded new e-learning and online platforms to continue and expand service delivery to MEVs and youth. Basically, before we trained young people physically, we have our conferences, we have our camps, etc., but we cannot do it now. Even if we go to Mindanao before, which did not have as much COVID-19 incidences, we still can't do it because the government were saying na even if hindi mataas ang COVID-19, you still can't. And because of that, we created our online platforms. We created a sort of MOOC, citizen youth programs, wherein SKs or other young people could enroll, could apply, and could basically learn a lot about organizing, about SDGs, etc. And lastly, we made sure that our programs have strong partnerships. Number one, to make sure that our programs have good substance in it. And number two, so that our programs can have a bigger reach. especially with traditional media and even social media. So the first concrete project that we did is the COVID-19 dashboard. The COVID-19 dashboard was the first and only youth-led online knowledge management platform on COVID-19 in the Philippines. It features updates on daily cases, news articles, research on hygiene and social distancing, among others. We started it when the pandemic started. And what's good about it is when we started it, young people kept coming in. Young people actually kept volunteering to write articles, to analyze data, etc. And what's good about it is that para siyang naging bayanihan for kabataan. Basically, yeah, youth organizations, youth national agencies, and even national agencies such as the Population Commission use it day by day, daily, to make sure that they have exact data for all of their work. It is recognized by the United Nations and the IATF and has been featured by national and international news. And lastly, it was the only Filipino COVID-19 response presented in the Youth Assembly at the United Nations. It was a privilege for us. It was an honor for us to present it there. I think we were the only youth solution. We were the only youth creative platform which was presented in the United Nations Youth Assembly, even though it was a youth assembly. So there. One thing about it as well is that because of our partnership with Popcom, when Popcom saw our COVID-19 dashboard, they used it always in their IATF meetings and in their IATF briefings with President Rodrigo Duterte. So as what you can see here, the first picture tells us about, shows us the welcoming page of the dashboard, wherein you would see the recent data on how many COVID-19 incidences we have now. At this time, 200 pa lang tayo. Now we're at 1 million. You would see here the percentages of how our COVID-19 incidences increased. You would also see here in our fourth picture the vulnerability of different areas. If you live in Quezon City, if you live in Barangay Sikatuna in Quezon City, you would see how vulnerable your barangays were, your villages were. This was based on data by the government given to us. On the third picture, you would see the articles that has been created by the youth for the youth. I'm talking about different issues such as what a second wave would be or what a second wave is, the different variants that we are experiencing or that are being discovered right now. You would see their issues such as reproductive health issues, wherein it is increasing because of the pandemic, etc. So that was our first pandemic COVID-19 response project. The next is SK Ako. SK Ako was supposed to be a physical activity, actually. We were preparing for it since 2018 after our program called the Youth Sustainability Convergence. We were preparing for it to be rolled out in all regions, wherein all regions would host a conference for all Sangguniang Kabataans. Sadly, the pandemic hit. But DILG, or the Department of Interior and Local Government, and the National Youth Commission said, we need to continue it, especially now that it is very important that we mobilize young people to fight this pandemic. As DILG said, it is touted as the biggest Sangguniang Kabataan project of 2021, if not the whole presidency of Rodrigo Duterte. And the program has more than 20 program partners and 4 program implementers, namely SDSN Youth, DILG, the National Youth Commission, and Innovative Educational Materials Incorporated. SDSN Youth and YSN has created 2 online portals which have enriched the learning experience of SKs, namely the program website and a newly developed online learning platform, the Youth Solutions Academy. So much like what we see na, diba, basically now online learning platforms are very prevalent. you would see, I can't remember the names of these online learning platforms. So basically, you just go online, go to their website, and click a lesson that you want. From there, you would have a number of hours to learn about it. Then you have a certificate. We did that as well. We developed our own e-learning platform for young people. With this project, we developed it for the Sangguniang Kabataan. What's good about this is it was supported by our national government agencies. That's why SKs had all the support possible. With it, in the SK Ako program, it talked about the Sustainable Development Goals. It talked about how the Sustainable Development Goals can be a framework for the rehabilitation of our country after this pandemic. It also tells us about what we can do as young people in this pandemic and how Sangguniang Kabataans could create programs and projects for their own communities, may they be in the urban areas or the rural areas of the country. To add to that, we have also created a joint call center wherein concerns from SKs all over the Philippines are heard. As of now, since March of 2021, we have had a total of 5,000 to 6,000 calls, which concerns different issues, just the budget of SKs being part of the pandemic response of the LGUs, etc. What will we do with these calls? Basically, we will create a report for the Congress of the Philippines in their COVID-19 response and in the reform dialogues on the SK reform law. Like what I said, we developed different platforms, different online platforms for it. The first picture shows us the website that we created. The website is basically the website basically tells us what the project is, where would you log in, how would you register, what is the program about, etc. The second photo under that photo shows us the online learning platform that we created for SKs. So it is based on the Moodle platform, and from there you can enroll in lessons such as the SDGs, Introduction to SDGs. SDGs is a rehabilitation framework, the history of SKs, the SK and how they could be they could develop programs in their communities for the pandemic. The third picture, the one beside these two pictures, is Undersecretary Martin Bidino of the Department of Interior and Local Government. He really supported the program to the point that he created commercials and advertisements for it for SKs to see so that they could be part of this program. The last program is still in the works. So basically, Nutrisyon ni Nanay is a pioneering program of SDSN Youth and YSN on young mother healthcare. It seeks to provide young mothers access to good nutrition and to modern family planning methods, even in times of pandemic. With UNFPA and POPCOM saying that it has predicted that the number of unwanted pregnancies and teenage pregnancies shall significantly increase in the pandemic times, we really made it a point to create a program for this, to create a project for this. What's good about this is when we created it, when we showed it to the public, institutions such as UNFPA or the UN Populations Fund, POPCOM, or the Commission Population Development, and WGNRR, Women's and Gender Network for Reproductive Rights, saw it and supported it wholeheartedly, may it be in funding or may it be in other resources possible. As of now, we are in the first phase of program development. We have started piloting pandemic nutrition pack distribution. This is our first physical distribution after the pandemic. We are now scouting for partners for this, and as of now, we have created a study and we are implementing a surveillance study on how we would be doing this, on how we would be developing the program, how we would be developing our online platforms for this, etc. It is ongoing as of now, and I'm happy to say that we only wanted 300 participants for the survey or the study, but nationwide we already had 1,800 respondents, which is more than 10 times of what sorry more than half of what we wanted, more than what we wanted basically. So yeah, so we are on that on that stage as of the moment. As you see here, ito yung ating material for our development of mobile application on SRHR survey. It is still ongoing. If you want to be part of it, please do go to our Facebook page and help us by answering the survey. Like what I said, Popcom has already partnered with us in making sure that this program also works. And lastly, the WGNRR is asking us what we can do together to make sure that NNN or Nutrition ni Nanay will be a success and would reach more young mothers in the Philippines. So now we're talking about the new normal. We need to make sure, kanina we were talking about the pandemic times. Now we need to talk about the new normal and how SDSN youth would continue on, and how youth organizations and youth initiatives will continue on after this pandemic. If we miraculously get cured or get vaccinated in a few years, in a few months. So we're talking about this already. So since the start of this year, we have been hosting different webinars and online conferences on the new normal, on how youth organizations could get resources, could get the skills and get the knowledge on rehabilitating their communities. We start with webinars on vacunas and vaccines. We had webinars on women's health. We started doing webinars on health and on leadership. Next is, in the new normal, we also held dialogues with DALG and NYC. As you've seen earlier, we really strengthened our partnership with the government, namely DALG and NYC, because these are the government agencies which really tackle or focus on youth concerns in the whole national government. We held talks with them, with DALG and NYC, about youth participation in making sure that young people can participate in making solutions for the pandemic. From this discussion, from these dialogues, we made sure that SKs will be part of different councils of the COVID-19 task forces in their own localities, and we made sure that even in the national level, youth concerns are heard and are well noted and are implemented. And lastly, internally, we made sure that yes, we had programs, yes, we had projects, but we made sure that our staff, volunteers and team members are healthy as well. We cannot go outside and distribute nutrition packs. We cannot go outside and do physical surveys without making sure that all of our volunteers and team members are protected from the pandemic. It is why SDSN Youth, with our partners in the civil society, has coalesced together and partnered with Novavax to vaccinate all of our team members and volunteers to make sure that they are protected. So that is the solutions and the initiatives we have in SDSN Youth for the pandemic and for COVID-19. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peredo, for all the information you've shared and how far-reaching your involvement with the SDSN PH Youth has been. Ang dami na ring projects. Thank you also, Ms. Plopeno and Dr. Montano, for your presentations. And before we proceed, we'd just like to welcome Ms. Mars Mendoza, our coordinator from the Fair Trade Alliance. Ms. Mendoza.
And Mars, are you there? So she may have difficulties in connecting. But anyway, we know that Mars of the Fair Trade Alliance is also one of our our leadership council members is here.
Yes. Hello, Ms. Mendoza. Okay. So to proceed, we will have our open forum for the presenters. You may go to menti.com here. I have placed it in the chat. You can also enter the and please enter the code 213 1088 if you want to submit any questions. You can also put your questions on the Zoom chat if you'd like. So are there any questions? Okay, so far we have 3 questions. Okay, so we have one question here, and we will field these questions to our 3 presenters. Anyone can answer, but let's maybe start with this question. So, given all your initiatives, how can you reach out to people to be more involved with these initiatives, given the context of the pandemic? So, maybe we can start with Dr. Montano. Hello. Okay, I'm not sure if Dr. Montano is getting this. How about Ms. Plopena and Mr. Pereda? Oh, there.
Can you please repeat the question?
Oh, sorry. If you can see the screen, we are asking if, given all your initiatives, how can you reach out to people to be more involved with your projects and initiatives, given the context of the pandemic?
Okay. For now, most of the things that we're doing is supposed to be online. We are not allowed to go to the community, although for certain areas, we just make sure that if we really have to go to the community, like for example, the one I mentioned with the IPs, we make sure that the meetings, we adhere to the protocol on the number of participants. We also adhere to the protocol on the use of face masks, the use of face shield, and also social distancing. But most of the time, we do our meetings with them online, except in areas where it is not reachable by internet.
Thank you, Dr. Montano. Ms. Plopena or Mr. Pereda, would you have an answer for this as well?
Sure. Sige, si Miss na lang muna.
Okay.
Go, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. We do actually the same thing as with Dr. Montano. Thank you, Facebook Messenger. I have a lot of group chats now. So we have a lot of activities that took off from various group chat. So like the COVID-19 dashboard for Naga City, we are now helping more by getting the other members of other units of the Naga City LGU into the analytics team, so that so that their decision making will be based on the data that we are churning out. And then most of the field works are currently being put on hold, but where necessary, we do field activities with the proper distancing from each other. So medyo magastos na kasi instead of just one car, dalawang car na nire-rent namin para mag-field work. So matipong ganun kasi nga kailangan ng physical distancing. So basically yan po. Online platform, and then where necessary, ginagawa yung protocol for the pandemic.
Thank you, Ms. Plopena. Mr. Pereda, would you like to give an answer as well?
Sure. So basically, what we did, I could summarize in 3 points. The first one is we really developed different, like what I said kanina, we really developed different learning, different online platforms for learning, for training, for capacitating young leaders in the Philippines. Before the pandemic, we were really reliant on on physical activities, on physical conferences. So in the start of this pandemic, we made it a point that we migrate everything online, and we migrated it in a platform that we can understand. That's why we developed it. Number two is we made sure that we created partnerships with external institutions such as the media and other youth organizations. What's good about partnering with media and with youth organizations is you get free exposure. You get to piggyback on their own online initiatives, on their own online development of their own tools. So yun. And lastly is we really strengthened our partnerships or our relationships with our own members. We have 150 youth organizations in the Philippines, and to make sure that our physical activities and our physical interventions in the communities still continue, we empowered our youth organizations so that they could continue it for us. So those are the three things that we did for this pandemic to work.
Thank you, Mr. Peredo. So we have another question over here. I think this one will be addressed to Dr. Montano. So the ADSU Compass project is certainly interesting. There's a similar project in ADSU called Faster. So I think this person's asking, are there other pandemic monitoring projects going on in other member institutions?
As far as I know, this is the only one that was submitted to the local government of Zamboanga City. That is why it was recognized by the regional IATF and it was endorsed for contact tracers.
Okay. Oh, I think I misunderstood. It's not just for you, Dr. Montano.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we can maybe have a few more questions. So, okay, I think this one is for Mr. Peredo. So, given the many contributors of content and data to your websites and online learning platforms, how are you able to vet these?
Can you expound on the question? Sorry.
Yes. I'm not sure who asked this question. But
hello, that was me.
Oh yes.
Hi, sorry, Xavier. So I'm new to the group, and so it seems that you're actually doing a lot as part of SDSN Youth. I recall you said something about there being many other organizations, NGOs, and so on, other youth organizations that are contributing content like articles and so on to your site, and you're putting a report for Congress. So I was just wondering, how big is your team, and how are you actually able to manage vetting all of these content if you have some process for doing so?
Okay, that's basically a good question. It is different for different programs. For the COVID-19 dashboard, we really created standards to make sure that what we put in our website or in the dashboard are true and factual. To start with the team, we had a rolling call for volunteers for a year. And these volunteers are not only students or not only high school or college students or people in training. These are actually young engineers, young data analysts from different companies, from different IT companies, young IT professionals, etc. So from there, we really maximize their talents, their skills, their knowledge on these. And we further nourished it with partnerships with institutions like Rappler in making sure that we have a good standard for their for vetting these information. We have different processes on data gathering, on data processing, on looking at fake news and what is true, etc. And even on, we have a team on making sure that the data is presented well, and the data is presented so that young people can understand it. So we have different teams. At our peak, I think the dashboard had a total of 50 youth volunteers all over the Philippines to make sure that the dashboard really worked and really and was really operational. As of the moment, for the dashboard, it is on hold because more often than not, the government and media sites already have a good enough, good enough initiatives for it. But we are looking at launching Dashboard 2.0, which would focus now more, which would now focus more on the vaccinations and on the new normal. For other campaigns, such as that of NNN or Nutrition ni Nanay, we do have a researcher. We do have, I think, 2 researchers working on that. I posted the link on our survey, and yeah, they're doing all. They're basically employed by SDSN Youth to do it. Yeah, and more often than not, if we do have researchers, we may panel na tumitingin, especially from the government and from civil society, about the work and about the quality of the work. So there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you too.
Thank you, Dr. Kendra, for the question. And thank you to all the presenters again for your presentations and sharing with us your involvements and initiatives. So next, for our program, now that the Solutions Forum is done, we will move on to our country manager's report by our country manager, Dr. Randy Kwan, who will be explaining our new members, our current members, and our new initiatives in the SDSN-PH. I now give the floor to Dr. Randy Tonyo again, so he can explain.
Yeah, thank you, Kin, and thanks everyone for attending our annual General Assembly. It was quite some time since our last assembly at the Ateneo de Manila, and well, I just posted the YouTube link to our Solutions Forum, and I hope that the Solutions Forum can be a regular feature of our General Assembly because we keep updated with regards to what the different members, SDSN members are undertaking with regards to SDGs. And I'm sure that many of our member institutions have a lot of SDG initiatives, and this is one way also to maybe network and link these different initiatives that we have. For my report this afternoon, just like to give you a summary of what we've done in the year 2020-2021. So I know, as you know, this past year has been very difficult for all of us, but yet we thank you for making sure that you're able to still participate in many of our activities that we've gone on in spite of the pandemic. So let me just say that we've had 4 accomplishments in the past year. So one, we completed our GIZ supported project, Academe Business Government Partnerships for the Sustainable Development Goals. Was what Dr. Craig used to say, Chut used to say, this is the acronym, ABG for SDGs. In the past few months, we conducted an independent dialogue on the UN Food System Summit for the Philippines. We are finalizing a research being undertaken by SDSN Asia on the ASEAN Green Deal, and we added also a few members, despite the difficulties also in meeting. And I'll discuss also in a while some possible initiatives that we will have in 2021, mainly the SDG Creative Solutions Competition, which has been being discussed for quite some time in our Exicom, and a webinar series on SDG initiatives of different SDSN member institutions. Okay, so Kim, maybe we can go to the next slide. just for the strengthening the academe business government partnerships for addressing SDGs projects. No? So, as you know, no, this is a series of workshops that where we promote and localize the 17 UN SDGs. No? We provide the platform for local and relevant stakeholders to identify their
Okay, I think Dr. Tuanyo's internet got kind of cut out there.
Sustainability challenges. Local business as well, no, in trying to address these SDG problems, no, in their respective areas. No? And hopefully this model is intended to be replicated. So as you know, and some of you have attended some of these workshops, so we have already a manual, no, which you can also utilize. No? Even if this project has ended, no, you can utilize, no, when to organize your own workshop. And in fact, no, we've organized one online workshop as well last year, and we found it also, the member institutions also found it useful. Okay, next slide. The last of our project activities was undertaken in October 2020, just October last year, no, when we launched, no, the manual, no, and undertook an online seminar, no, or workshop, no, with Ateneo de Naga, Ateneo de Zamboanga, and also the Cebu Technological University was there. No? Last February, we submitted our final report to the GIZ, the funder to the project, and I'd like again to thank to take this opportunity to thank all of our members who participated in the project. So Ateneo de Davao, Ateneo de Manila, the De La Salle University, Mapua University, and Ateneo de Naga, and at Cebu Technological University, and also Ateneo de Zamboanga, who also participated in that online seminar. And like to thank specifically Doc Delia Sonoro, who during the pandemic period, in fact, braved traveling to Romblon and Marinduque, and in fact, undertook these two workshops. And I don't know if Doc Delio wants to say a few words about this. No, I think the workshop was quite successful, and in fact, we were being asked, if there are follow-up activities that can be undertaken. We're trying to revamp our website, to include some of the activities that we've undertaken, and also post the manual also as well. So Kin hopefully will be able to finalize the website in these coming months. So just an updates from the website. We've revamped it slightly, because we wanted to update it to some of the activities that we've recently been undertaken, including the strengthening ABG partnerships and also the Food System Summit website. And there's already some information that you can get. And again, when we designed the workshop, this is a way of our members posting their SDG initiatives. So hopefully by the time that we've revamped our the website, hopefully the different members can contribute also their SDG initiatives in the website. So this is a website that's intended for the use of the members to share information on the different initiatives. I don't know to say.
Randy, you're a bit choppy. Randy, you're choppy. We can't understand what you're saying.
Oh no.
Randy, Randy, can you hear me?
Okay, I think.
Sorry, can you hear me now? Am I better?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had
yeah,
to
it was
just change.
choppy.
My internet connection, because I'm having internet difficulties at home. But yeah, I hope that I'm clear moving forward. Anyway, as I said, no, we're revamping the website, no, and hopefully in the next few months, one of the features of the website that we hopefully will have, no, is you can also update your SDG initiatives also as well. Okay, Kim, maybe we can go just to the next slide. Sige, Kim, maybe.
Oh, more already. Okay.
Okay, so as you know, and again, I think all of the members who attended, there are several of you also attended the webinar also this morning on the independent food systems um, uh, activity. So maybe we can just move back one, Kit. Yeah, the independent dialogue, no, was initiative being undertaken by two of our members, no, Ateneo de Manila and Xavier University, to ensure that academe and civil society inputs, no, can be provided, no, in the independent in the Food System Summit that will be organized by the United Nations, no, in this coming September or October. So the initiative was aimed not to spur different or communities, no, and organizations not to conduct their own dialogues, no, and discuss, no, the issue of food sustainability, including malnutrition in the Philippines. No. We've had 5 tracks, no, in that dialogue, and we were fortunate not to have our SDSN Leadership Council Chair, no, Achut, not who discussed, no, the issue of sustainable consumption patterns, no, and I think that the talk, no, was well received, no, and we're still following it up. Some of you, no, some of you have already expressed interest, no, in undertaking your own dialogues in your respective institutions, no, on this issue of food, no, and hopefully we'll have a report that will come out soon on these different initiatives, no. A follow-up session was undertaken, no, in coordination with our General Assembly today, no, on community gardens and urban farming, no, as a contribution of the different universities. Now, how can we also contribute, no, to this issue of community pantries, no, and as you know, no, universities can not only contribute only teaching and also research, no, but also our physical resources, no, human resources, no, in supporting these community pantries. No? And I think it was very good. No, we had around 200 participants in the webinar. So next, another activity that we've been undertaking is the ASEAN Green Deal project. No? So this is an initiative by the ASEAN, the SDSN Asian region. No? So to plan to develop an ASEAN plan for strategy to transition to net zero emissions. No? So we've organized a team to help support, no, develop a national strategy, and this is also being done, no, in work, no, being done by some of our organizations, no, in coordinating with the Climate Change Commission. No? So we've met together with Toby Monsod of the UP School of Economics, no, on how this study will be conducted. So Dr. Monsod, Toby has organized a team coming from the Institute of Climate and Sustainable Cities who undertook a study, and she's about to finish the report, and hopefully we'll be able to present that report in a future assembly. No? And the discussion was actually really focused on how can the Philippines achieve the target, the net zero emission target that our Philippine government has agreed to, given that the more concrete plans have to be undertaken. And the last output that we have had, no, we welcome also our new members in 2020 at Ateneo de Zamboanga, Cebu Technological University, the Iloilo State College of Fisheries, Tarlac Agricultural University, and also UST. No? And this year we have had two applicants, the Lopez Group Foundation. We're still discussing with SDSN Global on checking how can this membership can move forward. And recently we received an application from the Universal Association of College and Universities, and Kin and I will soon be contacting them to check their background. So those are our initiatives this past year. And we'll invite you to initiatives that we've been undertaken, that we've been discussing in the Leadership Council for several months now. So the first initiative is the next slide, Kim, is the competition on creative solutions. No? So our discussion then, and I hope that maybe we can discuss this even more, Xavier, with our youth, to submit video clips on suggested SDG solutions. No?
Definitely.
And hopefully this, yeah, thank you, Xavier. Maximum duration of 10 minutes. No? And hopefully this can address one of the sustainable development goals. No? So we'll, the proponent of this is PBSP, and also our Torneo developed the initial concept note, and hopefully we'll be able to convene a group again to discuss this and how can this can be undertaken. And next initiative would be the SDGs webinar. So we're asked, because as you know, even from the reports earlier this afternoon, that there are many SDG initiatives already being undertaken by different member institutions. So maybe it's a way of sharing information. We can conduct webinars on specific themes, and hopefully have a discussion on how different member institutions can contribute to this. We're starting with the work that we've done in the food systems work. So maybe the first webinar that hopefully will be organized in the coming 2 to 3 months. Now we'll focus on nutrition, because I think we've already had some work there. So that's brief my report. I don't know if they still have a few slides, but I think that's it. If you have any comments, or suggestions on or comments on the report, or suggestions for other new activities that the network can also get into.
Okay, so moving on, we are.
Maybe we can just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. I don't know if they have any questions or comments. I think they're still digesting the content of the report. But if you have an initiative wherein you might want to invite other member institutions as well, or make it a network initiative, you're very much welcome to raise this to the network, and we will try to help you in this effort. Oh, sige. I think all of us are digesting the report. Hopefully we'll come up with initiatives in the coming months. Okay. So thank you, Xavier, in the chat. Okay, I think there are no comments. So thanks a lot, and we're looking forward to your participation in future network activities.
So moving on, we will be talking about the election of the new SDSN-PH Leadership Council members. So as you know, there are three members from the Leadership Council whose terms will be ending already this year, and it states in the bylaws that members can vote, and I will give you the form later. Yeah. So what we are trying to do here is we want to vote the organization and not the member from the organization. So here's our current leadership council, and the ones marked in red are the ones whose terms are ending already. So we have Dr. Kuya Ging, our chair, and then we also have Mr. Ray Laguda from the PBSP and Ms. Mars Mendoza from the Fair Trade Alliance. So given this context, we would like to invite you to our nominations and voting, and I will place in the chat the link for nominations. I will wait for everyone to give a nominee, and maybe we can talk about when we will cast the votes based on these nominations. So let me put it on the chat.
So maybe just to further clarify, the slots that are open now for the elections, Randy, would be
So
two
we
from
have,
the academe. Yeah, could you maybe clarify that part?
yes, so we have 2 slots that are open from our regular members to the academe and civil society group. So Mars, your term and also Mars Mendoza's term will be ending this year. And then from our partnership, as we defined it from our organizational bylaws, no, 1 slot coming from our partner organization on the PBSP, no, whose representative is Ray Laguda, will be ending his term also this year. So we have 2 slots from our member organization and 1 slot from our partner organization.
So maybe just to remind everyone, the member organizations may come from the academe and civil society, as is we have aligned it according to the SDSN Global, and the members from business and government are considered partner institutions, but they also have a say in the SDSN. No? So 2 slots now for member and 1 for partner. Tama, Randy?
Yes.
And you may also...
Well, actually, what Kin and I have prepared, they can actually put their nominations in the form. Or if you want, because we, in our organization, in our bylaws, no, it was not clear whether we can, although the last year, no, we had voting using paper forms, no. But I don't know if you want to have an open nomination at this point, no, or we just want to put our nominations in the Google form. But what's clear is that in our bylaws, no, the representation in the leadership council will not be by individuals but by institutions. So whoever is nominated should be the official representative of that institution.
Maybe we can give a few more minutes for everyone to cast their nominations.
So
do you have a list of nominees?
I think the floor is open, Xavier.
For anyone, okay.
So so my understanding is we just write our nominations in the form, or would you like to maybe just have an open nomination? We can nominate, and maybe after the meeting, we'll develop a separate Google form for voting. So do we hear any nominations? If not, we will refer to the Google form.
Sorry, I should probably flash who are the ones in the leadership council right now. Okay.
Yeah, that's
have here for the academia. Then here are for the business and civil society as well as the other members.
What I just wanted to mention is maybe because we also have Elvin here, the institutions may be renewed, right, Randy? There's nothing that says we have to change the ones. But if there's a new one, then we can also nominate new ones. So at least we know that like PBSP and Fair Trade Alliance could also be in the running.
Yes, that's correct. There's no bar, no, in the number of terms, no, that each member institution sits in the leadership council. Or if we don't hear nominations, maybe volunteers. I mean, who want to sit in the leadership.
Although the others might be doing it via the form, so maybe we can you can have a special meeting if there are no nominations.
Yes. Okay, if we can take a look.
Yeah. Technically, I'm not going to be no anymore, so I'm just helping process it. I think Randy, where are
Yes.
you? Delia has her hand raised.
Okay. Delia? Yeah.
Yeah, I was able to fill up the form. I noticed that there are 3 slots for the nomination, but it is not clear whether those 3 slots are for nomination under the academic and or under the other institution. So it's not, but I tried to fill it up, but it's not clear. It's not clear on which slot is for the academic and which slot is for the other institution.
That's a good point, I think.
Okay, maybe.
Actually, Randy, just to clarify, the civil society is with the academe as member institution. So there are 2 slots for member institutions, right? And 1 for partner. So it might be clearer if we simply modify the Google form. Can Kim modify that so that it will be easier for everyone to remember? And then maybe if there is a way of putting in the current members as well so that people know who are there.
Okay,
would that be possible?
Yes.
Okay, Kim will modify it, and then we can put a link to the list of members, no, so that you can nominate. And Mars, I think you have your hand raised as well.
Yeah, good afternoon. Sorry I'm late. Can you please clarify what was said earlier, that there's no bar for institutions? Am I correct to understand that, let's say, for academe, I can still nominate, let's say, Dr. Asunta? Am I right?
Mars, you can nominate Ateneo, but I'm not the AIS director anymore, so it will be Dr. Kendra Gotanco who will represent Ateneo in the next round. But she is very good, So if you want to nominate her, I think it's okay.
Yeah. So instead of putting in names in the nomination form, I can also write the name of the institution.
Maybe that's the bet. Yeah, I don't know. Randy, is that all right?
Yes. Yeah,
that would be the better.
Yeah. Sorry, I've asked Kin already just to revise the form and just to include instead of the name of the person. Maybe better just to put the institution, maybe the university or the member organization, and we can just vote on the institution.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
see, are there any questions?
Do we need to submit this now or no? Or change the Google
we
form
can
first?
see. We can decide on period when maybe we can just close the nation. So if what we'll do is to just revise the Google Forms link so that it's clearly identified that institutions should be nominated, and then that there are 2 slots for member organizations, and then 1 slot for partner organization. And then maybe we can decide over a period, maybe a week, then maybe
Randy?
nominations can be closed.
Randy, may I make a suggestion also? Because it might be very difficult to get in touch again with everyone if we wait. And I think the form should be modified for the actual voting. But what if we can invite people to nominate via the chat box in using direct message to you?
Okay.
So that
Okay.
how do the others feel about that? So that it's more private if you're not willing to nominate to everybody. If you wish, you can send a direct message to Randy for your nomination so that it will facilitate the voting, because I'm not sure if it will be how we can explain it if there is a nomination which is offline already and very difficult to to manage. But I think what's more important is we get the elections through the Google form.
Okay.
I don't know what the others think, but let's get the feel of how the rest feel about it.
Taylor is still also raising your hand. Okay. Oh, but it might be also be good, Kin. I mean, maybe if we can just show the names of the member institutions which we have earlier. So.
Oh, it's up here. My bad.
Okay.
And also the next slide. Yeah.
Maybe I should put it in one.
Yes, without the pictures.
Yes. Let me edit this.
There's also a list of members in the list of participants at the.
Oh. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Okay. It's yeah.
One other thing. The list that you're showing are the current leadership council members. It might also be good to add the names of everyone else, because especially the new ones are not yet there.
Yes, that's
So
true.
it will complete the list. I think we need the complete list also. So Kin, maybe what you could do is use the complete list of members, both member institutions and partner institutions, and then just highlight who are currently the members of the Leadership Council.
Okay.
And whose terms are up for.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe I can show this one.
Yeah, because so that we also open the field to the new members.
Maybe 2 columns, no? 1 column are the current members of the current leadership council, and then the columns, the second column is everyone else who is not in the leadership council, and then you just highlight, just like before, in red siguro, the names of those whose terms are up already.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Let me, I'll edit first.
I have a question. For the members outside this call, can they also vote?
The voting can happen after the meeting, but yeah, I think
okay.
It's say maybe we should already nominate.
Okay.
Other members. Sorry. There we go. Other members. Okay. Okay, let me show my screen. It's a bit messy, but here are the other members. Okay. It's a bit small. Okay.
Just the view. Maybe you can enlarge the. It's a Word file, Kin, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you can add a little bit more, maybe 150 or something. Go to your Zoom and then.
Oh, okay.
Don't increase the type. Increase because it's easier to see it in one page.
Oh, okay. This one.
Would it help
No.
na yung sa halip na portrait landscape?
Mahirap kasi magmo-modify. Just go to your bottom right. There is a slider there on the right. Go to 160 or something. Yeah.
I think I have a better slide. I don't know if you want to make it.
Okay. You can share your screen, sir.
Okay.
You have to stop sharing first. Yeah.
Maybe you can also paste it on a Google Doc and give us the link so we can also refer to it.
Okay. Well, I just have the list of members. And the ones that are colored in red are the ones already who are in the leadership council.
Okay.
Maybe just cross-check, but I think, sorry, I think I forgot yung UP Los Baños. There's another. I think parang this is a fairly complete list. So would it be possible? I mean, if you want, you can put your nominations already in the chat or private chat, or if you just want, you can. Some I think have nominated. Maybe you can just check some have nominated out to the form.
Yes.
Sige, let me lang distinguish lang between itong members kasi I did not distinguish between the academe and civil society. So let me just modify this.
I think 2 or 3 people have submitted already via the form.
Yes, we have 6 responses already.
Yeah, good.
Sorry, I sent 2. But please do disregard my first one. I do have a question though on the list of the institutions. I don't see kasi the name of PRRM, which had been very active ever since.
Which one, Xavier?
The Philippine Rural Reconstruction Movement.
Oh.
These are the ones that have been attending our meetings, no, and also the ones that are registered at the global.
Ever since we had our bylaws, we have asked everyone to please register through the SDSN Global for the member institutions, and then for the partner institutions, they still have to send us a message because the membership is approved by the Leadership Council, right, Randy?
Yes.
Okay. Just siguro for PRM, the last representative they had was the late Gani Serrano. So maybe they're not getting the emails because Gani Serrano has already left us in this world.
Okay.
We'll
Yeah,
try to, maybe you can try to connect with them again and invite them to send us
Sure,
an
will do.
application.
Okay.
Actually through Global, kasi civil society sila. So they'd have to go through SDSN Global.
Definitely. Okay, I'll help out. Thank you.
I asked a question.
Yeah, Del.
Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe I was not listening clearly earlier. I saw the name of Mapo University color in red. What does that mean?
Sorry, that's you're a member already of the leadership council.
Okay.
Dr. Bea is this. So in the ones that, so the list of the member organizations, no, are you see the in the 4 columns, no, and the ones that are in red are in the leadership council, and the ones that are in bold and italicized are the ones whose members are, whose terms are ending.
Okay, clear, loud and clear. Thanks.
I'm sorry, Mr. Peredo. You sent 2 nominations, correct?
Yeah. Disregard the first one.
The first one. Okay. Thank you. Okay. We have quite a lot of nominees already.
Yeah, and things, Men also put in the chat that maybe Becky Mala is the connection to PR. Yes, I've talked to Becky. Anyway, sige, I'll follow her up. I've informed her about this, no, in the past, no, pero I think maybe she might be have been busy with the UN Civil Society Action Consortium, CISAC Civil Society Consortium.
Rance, her sister died a few weeks ago, a few days
Sorry,
ago.
I
Yeah.
didn't know. Thanks for letting me know. So we send our condolences to her.
Sorry,
So-
sir. Oh, sorry, Dr. Cueca.
Now, with all the nominees, are we then in a position to list it for the voting online later on?
Yeah, we have quite a lot, and maybe we can give a few more minutes so everyone can nominate.
Randy, this is the last point of the meeting, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll have to take my leave already. I have another meeting at 4.
Okay, so
thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks
It
a
has
lot,
been
no?
fun working with everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We will miss you, miss. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, sige. And then maybe if the names are already there, Kin, we can already maybe put it in a slide. I mean, just for everyone, we can show it to everyone. And then we will inform you, we'll be developing a Google form for voting. And then maybe we can give you maybe up to a week, for voting.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, sige. Maybe can just if you have the institutions, the names of the institutions, and then just separate them whether their member or partner organizations. Let me just show the slide.
Okay, let me collate these first.
Okay, just let me know, Kin, no, when you have the list so that I can.
Okay.
Down.
Okay, so I'll share my screen with all the listed nominees. If anyone still has any nominations, you may still cast your nominations. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we received nominations no, for our well, at least some of we will clean this list no because some of the those who are nominated no or have still unexpired terms no. So for example, AER then you're still part of our leadership council until 2022 no, but and also Mapua University as well. No? Okay, so among the member organizations, no, ADMU, ADNU, UPLB, ADSU, and ED are are qualified. No? I think because the others, no, still have, like FTA or Allianz Agricultural have still unexpired terms, no. And for our partner organizations, no, PBSP is the only one, and they just have two partner organizations. No? So with this, we'll give you a week to cast your votes. No, so we'll do this via Google Forms. No, and we will ask your official representative lang to vote no on these nominees. No? Okay, so with that, would like to.
Sir Andy, I was not paying attention. But how many do we have to vote for? I mean, how many do we have to vote into the
leadership council?
Leadership council?
Yes. Yeah, we need two.
Two. Okay,
two.
okay.
And then one more for the partner organization. So
Okay.
we'll clarify this in the Google form.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And okay, so I hope that week is sufficient. So maybe until the end of next week, no, we will compile your votes. No? Okay, so thank you. Okay, so with that, I'd like to thank you all no, for attending, and I hope that even we are still meeting online, it's a little bit difficult now maybe to make that communication, but hopefully we will see you in one of our future activities. As soon as the voting ends, so we will convene again the leadership council, no? And then maybe we can have a new vote no, on who the leadership council chair would be. So again, thanks a lot, and hope to see you in our activities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and see you. Go ahead.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Take care. Salamat. See you soon.
May tatanong lang ako, Randy, just before we go. Yung ating bylaws ba, na-approve na ba yun?
Oh, na-approve na in nag-referendum after the last GA. So approve na lahat. Sorry, dapat pala nireport ko nga pala yung bylaws na yun.
Yeah, kasi
But
it was the last we talked about it last time, and then yeah.
there was a referendum lang po about it. There were some changes, no? But yeah, it was approved, no? But you know, we made a few changes in the wording. Yeah, sorry, I was not able to report on it this
Okay.
meeting.
Anyway, but do we have a copy of the approved in the website?
Yes, Kim, you have the final draft, ano?
Yes, I can send it
Then
to
we
you.
can send it to you.
Okay, okay. How do I call you? Ba? Joaquin, Kin, Jake?
You can call me Kin na lang po.
Kin, okay. Yeah, Mr. Campos. Okay, so can I request for a copy of the approved bylaws?
Okay,
Kasi
no
we
problem.
need to explain this to our principals.
Okay.
Just exactly what we are, what we do, and what are our obligations and things like that. So as we move forward, yeah. Thank you, Kin.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so sige, sorry, nauna na yata sila Kim before you posted the evaluation.
Oo nga pala. It's okay. Some people were able to submit their answers naman.
Okay. Sige, if, you know, maybe in our follow-up email, you can still have that naman. Yung Mentimeter can still,
Okay.